Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope all is going well. So, yeah, I'm drinking hot coffee on a hot day. Yeah, hot coffee on a hot day. If you live in Arizona, if you know anything like I know about Arizona, it's always going to be hot during the summertime. And either you can say, yes, you want hot coffee, or no, you don't want hot coffee. I feel like I drink my coffee hot because that's how I always drink it. And that's how I feel like I get the caffeinated effect is by drinking it hot. When I drink it cold, I feel like it doesn't work for me. So, how do you drink your coffee? In the summertime, that is. Hey, y'all. So, I want to talk a little bit about a situation I had years and years ago. I was in a relationship and I tried to control this person to be who I needed them to be for me, right? It wasn't like I had or wanted full control of this person. It wasn't like I was demanding. It wasn't like I would put this person down. It was just more along the lines of I tried to have this person be the person I wanted them to be able to help me feel like this person is good for me. Right. And let me say this, y'all. In the grand essence of things, I feel like that because of what I was pushing for, pushed this person away from me. Right. There are certain things you don't realize until after things go by. And then you start to pick up on, oh, that was a scenario. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, it makes sense. But back to my story. So I tried to make this person be who I wanted them to be for me. And you can never make anyone be who you want them to be for you, no matter what, right? That person is always going to be that person. Some people just are never going to change and be able to give you what you need and what you want. And so you have a decision that you have to make. Either you can decide to stay and allow that person to be who they are, right? Or either you could leave and go and find someone else who you think is more suitable for you. However, just because you leave that person, you still may not ever find what you're looking for. The issue is that we get trapped up with trying to control people, make people be who we want them to be, make them do the things that we want them to do for our own personal satisfaction. And when we do that, that's just wrong. You can't make somebody be who you want them to be. You have to allow them to be themselves. Now, if this person decides to change, put in the effort or the work to be, I don't want to say who you want them to be, but to try to meet you in the middle to where y'all compromise. Hey, I can't give you this, but I can give you that. Hey, that's never happening, but I will do this. That type of scenario, right? And the word I was looking for was that type of compromising, right? It's an agreed compromisation versus you trying to compromise to that person what they should be doing, right? But if that person decides to do that, then yeah, then that's a great scenario because that person is trying to meet you in the middle. But again, to my regular point, we can't try to control someone and make them who we want them to be. A couple things are going to happen if you do that. Number one, you're going to push that person further away from you, and they're never going to meet you in the middle. Number two, you can cause that person to do something that they really don't want to do. I used to always have this thought in my mind and say that you can't make somebody do something, but I will say this based on how you treat that person, based on your actions toward them, it's possible that you can influence their actions to change and do something that you don't want them to do at all. And it can possibly backfire and hurt you. So you have to be very careful about that, right? About trying to force people into being what you want them to be. But back to what I was saying that you're going to push that person away. Actions are going to end up changing. And then number three, that person may end up eventually just walking away. You may want it to work, but they may just eventually walk away because the push for you to try to make them be who you want them to be for you is just too much. So those are three things that could cause, and I've seen all of them happen before in the past, so I know, right? But what do we do in this situation? Because that's the real question. What do we do? How do we handle when we feel like that somebody's not giving us the love that we need, the attention that we need, or being that person that you want them to be for you? What do we do? Number one, you sure as heck don't force anyone to into anything. Number two, you don't guilt someone into doing it for you. And then number three, you don't make it forceful, right? And so if you're in that scenario today where you feel like the person who you're trying to control is not giving you what you need because of for whatever reason, then either you have to accept it or either you have to walk away. So that's what we should do in that scenario. We've got to decide what do we think is beneficial for us. I tell you, me walking away from that scenario was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because again, I realized that that person is going to be who that person wants to be, and they're never going to change, even if it's on a compromise state where you guys are agreeing. That person just was never going to meet that mark. So I eventually walked away. And I look back now and it was the best decision I made in my life. But sometimes we make decisions that's not good for us. And if you're going to walk away from someone and then get into something worse than that, you're just making things worse for yourself. So I don't like to influence and tell people, well, I like to influence people. That's why I got this podcast. Let me retract that. I don't like to tell people what they should do. I like to give you some tools. I like to give you some different things to work with. And then you decide what actions you're going to take to get you to where you feel like you need to be. Right. And so it's just those things where I would never tell you to leave someone. I would never tell you to stay with someone. However, the tools I give you, if you make a decision based on that, based on the tools I put in front of you, it's a whole different story. I'm drinking my coffee here, y'all. So yeah, so that's how I would handle that scenario. And you may handle it slightly different from me, or you may handle it totally different from the way I would handle it. But again, my original statement I made is that you can't make someone be who they don't want to be. Right? You're forcing them into being something that they're just not going to be. Sometimes if you force someone, they'll change, but they'll hate you for it. And because they hate you for it, they'll rebel against you sooner or later one day. Have you ever heard how children were raised a particular way? They move out as a kid, excuse me. They move out of the house. Now they're upset with their parents and they rebel because they feel like that their parents had too much control over their life. Because your parents want you to do this, they want you to do that. And what do you do when you become an adult? You rebel, you run away, and your parents hardly have any airtime with you, right? And that's just not good. Parents, I know that a lot of us want to see our kids be prosperous and successful, but also there's a way of letting them make their own decisions and determine if they want to be successful or not, right? And so we could look at this thing a hundred different avenues. We could take it to different boulevards, but at the end of the day, you can't control someone and make them be who you want them to be, no matter what the scenario is, whether it's a marriage, whether it's just a relationship, whether it's a friendship, maybe it's a partnership, right? You just can't make someone do and be what you want them to be for you. So you have a decision to make. And the decision you make, I hope it's the best thing for you. And it's the best decision that is going to make things better for you in the future. So the next time you feel like you want to change someone, remember You can't change someone or guilt them into being who you want them to be for you. You have to allow them to be themselves. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for listening. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to visit my website at www.rewirethewayouthink.com. Y'all, I'm not hard to find. I'm on IG all day, every day. It's James Watkins at 40 and Fit Life Coach. If you have not followed the podcast, make sure you do so. Whatever platform you own, make sure you hit that follow button. When a brand new one drops, you get the alerts. So that's the benefit of you following the podcast. Hey y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. And as I always say, practice daily mindset rehabilitation. And that's my 2 cents in it, y'all. Peace.